basically that in the 1960s, people started realizing that if whaling continued the way it was, that there would be no whales left. So out of sheer necessity, the UN created the IWC, or the International Whaling Commission. And that was basically a document that countries could sign on to promise to lower their whaling quotas. It eventually evolved into a promise to cease whaling altogether. Luckily for the whales, technological advances came along, such as plastics, and they weren't needed to be hunted as much, or at all, really. But today there's a good 80 or so countries signed on to the IWC. There are still lots of countries that whale. I know that Japan does some, Russia does some, the Faroe Islands do a fair bit, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines do. I'm sure that there's more, but those are the ones I know off the top of my head. And actually, Canada used to be signed on to the IWC, but in about its 4th year of life, Canada removed itself from the IWC because we still have an allowance for the hunting of small-toothed whales in Inuit communities here in Canada. But otherwise, commercial whaling has been illegal in Canada since 1967. Humpback whales actually represent a conservation success story. They were taken off the endangered list in 2016. They are still considered threatened, but they're doing good. At their low point, North Atlantic humpback whales population was sitting at about 12,000 individuals, and that wasn't very good for them. Today they're standing strong at about 35,000 for the whole North Atlantic, so they're doing good. One of them that's not doing so good would be the North Atlantic right whale, and their entire population sits at about 350 individuals. As of today. Oh, right behind us. The North Atlantic right whale's population sits at about 350 individuals. They're having a tough time bouncing back after whaling times. Their preferred food is copepods, which are these tiny little crustaceans that live near the surface of the water. And as the water warms, the copepods don't flourish the way that they used to. So the primary food source for those North Atlantic right whales is pretty much gone. It's a huge reason why we don't see them here in the Bay of Fundy anymore. They usually go up to the Gulf of St. Lawrence nowadays, which is very rare for whales to change their feeding grounds after generations and generations. And then the North Atlantic right whale is also notoriously slow and spend a lot of time at the surface. So unfortunately for them, they seem to get struck by vessels a lot more frequently than other whales. And then their birth and reproduction patterns are slower than other whales as well. So they're having a really tough time coming back. And they actually get their name, the right whale, because they were considered the right whale to hunt during whaling times, because their baleen is about 9 feet long. So the baleen from one North Atlantic right whale was enough to fund the entire whaling expedition.
Stinky. Blech.
It's also a very sticky smell, I find. So when you're driving home tonight and you catch a whiff of it again, you're not imagining it. It's probably stuck to your hair.